because a lot of services can't offer that face-to-face support at this time.
Well, we're really, really pleased to be playing our part to help you guys do that absolutely amazing work. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's a real pleasure having you on.
No, thank you. And thank you guys for everything you're doing, because, you know, a pound is brilliant. It's a pound we don't have, you know, more than that is fantastic, but also just raising the awareness about stroke and the Stroke Association so people know we're here is just amazing. So thank you guys so much, and keep going.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you for joining us. A real pleasure to chat to you this morning.
Thank you.
And what do we have next?
So next up, we have an interview with Andre Costa from Advice Front. Jose and Andre have been regular contributors to the morning commute during lockdown, and we wanted to find out more about how they have continued to run the business during lockdown and what they have learned. So hello, Andre, how are you doing today?
Hi, Clem. I'm doing really great today. How about you?
Yeah, great. How so you're not based in the UK. Where are you currently?
Yeah, I'm currently in Portugal, in a small town close to Lisbon. And
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Do you have nice weather then, I suppose?
Yeah, today's actually quite sunny, but you know, it's lockdown, so we can still go out freely. So I can't enjoy the sun today.
Great. So first of all, we just want to know a little bit more about Advice Front and what your ambitions are in the marketplace.
So Advice Front is a company that is building software for financial planners. We are starting with what we call onboard. So it's just a simple module that helps advisors and planners to onboard new clients. But we also help with the ongoing process. So this is all about collecting some data from the client at the beginning of the process, like the fact-find information, doing the risk profile. The clients can also sign some documents. So if you have any agreement, you can sign it digitally. And we can also speed up the process of payments in case some planners like to prefer to charge an upfront fee for financial planning, for example. We also help with that process. So the idea here is to with one single system and one login for the client can do everything there. So he logs in on one place. He can contact the advisor with secure messaging. He can share documents, so any document that the financial planner needs, the client can just upload right there. They can give all of the data, but then the client can also come back to this same place to just get an update from the advisor. So the advisor can share a report after 1 year, can do the ongoing process, you know, reviewing the fact find, reviewing the risk score. So that's what Advice Front is, and our ambition is actually to help advisors. I'm going to say be more productive, but it's not actually that. It's just helping advisors, saving time with their process. Because one thing that we don't do is we don't restrict our software to just one single process. So every advisor has their unique way of working. So, but they can use Advice Front in that unique way. This is just a way for advisors and planners to engage. Advisors, planners, and clients engage together and work together collaboratively. So our vision is, you know, just a way to help clients, help advisors, and maybe reduce that barrier of that's called the advice gap. So where some clients don't have actually money to invest to make it sustainable for the advisor. So maybe simplifying the process and speeding up everything can make a client with less possibilities to invest. Then it will help the advisor make like a small profit from that. That's kind of our ambition.
Great, thanks. So you're both based, so you and Jose are both based in Portugal. And so what has lockdown been like for you guys? And, you know, have you learned anything out of this professionally or personally?
Yes, definitely. We've been advocating for remote work in this industry for a while now, because we do believe it's possible to run a business remotely. Of course, not every single business, but in this marketplace, we believe it's possible to do it remotely. And the lockdown just made it, you know, just basically showed to everyone that yes, it's possible to do things in this fashion. But also what I learned is that I was kind of, when I understood that I had to stay at home in lockdown, I was kind of afraid to just be, locked down into one single place with the same person constantly, and that might get some friction between me and my wife, and then we had a newborn. So that was one of our concerns. But what we've learned is that yes, this is actually pretty manageable. We can do this, and I'm kind of afraid to go back to the office right now. So because I really like this, waking up, the office is right here next to my room. I have my coffee machine there. I have my food right there. So it's just comfortable, and at the same time, it can be productive. So personally, that's what I learned, is that it's possible to do this in this way. And professionally, like I said, it just showed that we had some problems on our internal process that we had to fix to be able to work remotely. But once we've fixed all of that, it meant that everyone was actually more productive. And so in the same 8 hours of a day, we can actually accomplish a lot more than if we have to go to the office, because personally, I have a commute of almost 2 hours to the office. So going back and forth 2 hours is a lot of time that we spend. And instead of wasting those hours and getting tired, I just stay at home and I can be a lot more productive like this. So yeah, professionally, we've learned that we had some problems to fix on our process. We fixed those, and now we are just considering working completely remotely.
That's fantastic. I think working from home is definitely going to be a bigger thing than it was before. Definitely. Yeah. So in terms of the regular contributions that you guys have made to the show, it's always been in the text, as in the tech focus on our show. And so from that, how do you think technology will help the world manage coronavirus pandemic, and how trusting can we be of track and trace apps?
I'm kind of I would say this. I don't trust companies that much, like especially companies that like to track stuff, like Google, for example. But I think for this specific case, there will be new tools, new apps that will actually help us, and they're going to focus on privacy. And we are starting to see that trend now, which is the privacy is the most important asset they have on their tool, and then the rest is like a bonus. So we've seen some tools to track the COVID and the spread of COVID in a really private way. So they only like to track your location, but it's not actually connected to you. So there's no way to sell this information to to other companies so that they can send you ads. And what they are talking about this is specifically is to, in case you cross someone that had COVID, that person will go to the app and say, yes, I have COVID, so I've got it. So this will spread out, and basically to every person that you've been in the same place, it will just send an alert saying you crossed with someone that was diagnosed with COVID, so you should run the test. And this type of tools will be really helpful in the short term. But I also think that we are going to see this new trend of privacy being one of the most important assets for the new apps, because people are now complaining about a lot more. They don't trust companies with their private data. So I actually hope that we'll see that.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think with the track and trace and privacy issue. I was reading the other day that, for example, in Germany, while they're trying to do things with an app, in Germany, people are much more aware about data privacy because they are past with Eastern Germany and the Stasi, and so they have actually increased the sort of the track and trace team that is people's based to give people calls and so on, because they know that people are the majority of German people will not be comfortable with track and trace apps. So I think that's quite interesting to see how different countries are going to deal with that. So moving on, so there are many conferences and events that have been disrupted over the last month, including this one. And what are you doing to maintain contacts with your clients and potentially new clients?
So this actually wasn't a big issue for Advice Front, again, because we are based in Portugal. We do have some people in the UK, but because we are mostly based in Portugal, it means that we contact our clients and possible clients. Everything is online, it's done online. So we exchange emails, we schedule a Zoom call, and Zoom is always at the center of all of this. And then we actually talk via Zoom. And what we've been also doing, and for our current clients that we also have on our app, we have a way for our clients to contact us directly. And if we actually need to go onto a Zoom call, we just send a link, we schedule a Zoom call, and then via Zoom we'll run all of this. So this wasn't a big issue for us, but what we've noticed is that some people weren't that comfortable running the Zoom calls at home. I'm not quite sure why, but maybe it's because they don't have a proper space to run the meeting. Maybe they have kids around, and I can understand that. But that was only the small issue, was that one, which some people weren't prepared to work from home. In terms of conferences, yeah, I was actually, it was a bit sad not to have the NextGen Planners conference in a physical location, but I believe that everyone did an amazing job, and what you are doing, I think, will kind of be a new way to run this. I've also been on other conferences just kind of like this, but what we are doing is completely new for me. This 24 hours global commute, it's just amazing. So congratulations on thinking outside of the box.
Well, thank you. I think we have to thank Adam and the NextGen board and wider team for this, to always live under the motto of go big or go home. So thank you so much, Andre, for this. It was very interesting, very insightful, also for someone running a UK business from Portugal. So I think now we're going to have to look at our challengers. So Marcus, please let us know what's going on.
Thank you, and thanks too to Andre, that was brilliant. I'm Gretchen, a bit of warning, I'm going to come to you next if that's okay. But just before we do, we've had news coming in to the studio here that we've passed the £500 mark for both charities. So that's absolutely amazing effort by all concerned so far. So please do keep those donations coming in. We really, really appreciate it. And I know Tracy and her team will be appreciating it too. Gretchen, over to you. How are you getting on? Tell us about your first hour. How's it been?
Yeah, good, thanks. So for people who missed the first hour, I'm doing making 24 art or craft things in 24 hours. So the first hour and a half has been pretty intense because I'm trying to listen as well because I'm interested. But yeah, so my first thing's complete. I'm going to tweet them as I go along, but this was my first hour endeavour. She's a little wall hanging, so that's good. I'm making a light pole next. The idea is that they will be made out of air drying clay. Anyone who's watched the commute throughout the kind of lockdown period, I do quite a lot with air drying clay because it's just really handy. So I'm making sort of balls, I guess, that will all group together to make a light pole that I'm painting. I've started painting some on these, so we'll see how quickly the paint dries, will be whether that's complete in the hour. Feel like I don't know how that's going to go yet. But yeah, so it's still going to be quite a physical challenge just to be awake for 24 hours. So we'll see how it goes.
We're in admiration of what you're doing, Gretchen. It's absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to comparing how people are getting on at hour 20, 21, 22 to the smiling faces we've got across the board right now. Alistair, if you're there, I'll turn to you next. I'm working on the basis you can hear me.
Hello, I can.
I would like to ask the questions that Adam and Caroline didn't ask earlier. Could you give us a 60-second, 1-minute intro to Minecraft and
Yes, so Minecraft was an absolute sensation when it was first released, and I remember it being released and looking at the information and thinking, God, why would anyone play that? And then I bought it and downloaded it, and I think I lost about the next 3 weeks of my life just to playing Minecraft. It is an incredibly addictive little game. It's just you mine and you craft. that's pretty much what you do. That's what it says on the tin. So at the moment, I'm deep down in a mine that I've built. I'm trying to get some materials ready for starting to build our virtual auditorium. The challenge in Minecraft is that you have a day and night cycle, and it's a survival game fundamentally. So at night, bad things come around and try and kill you. So you have these torches that you keep lit, and if they're lit, it means generally that bad things can't spawn near you, but they tend to have a habit of surprising you. Some bad things are zombies. They just come and try and attack you. They're quite easy to deal with. You fend them off with a little sword like this. Other ones are a bit more problematic. So the most dangerous are called creepers, and they're literally little walking boxes of TNT. So if we're halfway through building an auditorium and a creeper gets into it and decides to blow itself up next to us, it's going to look slightly less attractive than we'd hoped. So I've got some ideas for the auditorium. I found a really nice natural or kind of a pre-generated starting point just around the corner from our base. So yeah, we've just got to build it out, really.
Amazing. It's a world I've never explored. I'm looking forward to learning more about it over the next 24 hours with you. I can see we've got James continuing to flip tires in his garage there. James, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you wanted 30 seconds break, now's your opportunity. How are you getting on?
All right, still going strong. Probably nowhere near as challenging as Joshua and Jones's challenge that we talked about in the first hour. I've known Josh for a couple of years, and it's just sensational what he's doing with the Cystic Fibrosis Warriors Challenge. And having known some of the children that he mentors, talks to who have cystic fibrosis, it's just a phenomenal thing that he does. So get raising charity. Yeah, I'm about to go on a half-an-hour run, so that's my rest. Chatting to you guys, but keep up the good work. I'm listening as I'm lifting. Not so when I'm running, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm not so sure it'll be that in 3 hours' time. But
well, we're really proud of you. Half an hour's run as a rest sounds something that sounds like an activity Josh would be proud of. So keep at it. And having seen that tyre yesterday, I can vouch for its size. It's enormous. So well done. We're really proud of your efforts. Indeed, we're proud of the efforts of all of our challenges. So thanks to you all. We'll look forward to checking in with you over the course of the next hour or so. So Clem, tell us what we've got coming up at 10:30 UK time.
So at 10:30 UK time, we will be chatting with Paul Mante, who is in Ghana. Then Chris Budd is back with another financial well-being tip. And then we'll be also joined by Phil Bray, our very own marketing guru, with the marketing focus. So yeah, that's the next show.
Right, a wrap. Well, thanks, Clem. Thanks for joining me today. It's just been lovely to be back on the morning commute with you. We'll each be back over the next 24 hours, so we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks, guys. Cheers.